So, okay, Greg says we are good now. I don't know if y'all are watching the last 2 minutes of me stalling or not, but when you catch up to this, my lovely family at Norwood Free Methodist Church, I want you to know I love you. I miss you. Um, I want to thank Greg, Donna, Val, Beth, anybody else who contributed to us getting a service today going with on such short notice. Um, Family members, dude, how important. And the thing is, I know it's important on a Sunday to be able to gather together, to worship together, and to seek God together. And so I'm glad we're able to do this through the power of technology, right? Okay, into the message. Enough of this stuff. So, as all good stories start in my life, it seems, me and Petey were talking yesterday. I think it was yesterday. No, it was 2 days ago. Doesn't matter. See, I'm getting old. I'm doing that thing. Was it Wednesday? Was it Tuesday? And then your wife has to go, no, it was right? Who cares? You're on TV, AJ. Knock it off. Anyway, really though, I love you. I can see where y'all are sitting. I'll say Marty and Chick and Lyle and Deb. There's Val down there. I hope Debbie's with us as well. I love you. Here we go. Ready? Done. Talking to Petey. Here's the thing. Going in hot. This is going to sound harsh, but this is the template for the entire message. I want you to understand something if you are following Jesus the Christ. Let's do the Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, okay? So we're following who? Him, correct? What does that mean? That means that your challenge in your process is that bit by bit, every part of you begins to follow and fall in step with Jesus, right? And I don't care if you've been walking with him 30 years, there are still areas and corners of our lives that are being conformed to the image of Christ Jesus. We understand that, right? There's another the scripture that says, be ye, sorry, I'm doing old timey English, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, which means this. Doggone it, if you're walking with Christ Jesus, your posture, in my opinion, the only posture acceptable to our King and Shepherd, is one of openness to his truth, to what he's saying. I was talking to someone the other day in the professional realm, and they looked down on pastoral ministry. And I told them, I said, there's a lot of power in what we do because we have a common truth we believe in. The template, the scaffold is that the Bible is true and we bend to it. You get that? And all of us, our life experiences, our politics, our culture and all that stuff is warring against that truth. Well, here's the thing, ready? The Bible clearly states to us that we, those born out of, remember the whiteboard? Those born from the darkness into the kingdom of God, we were bought at a price and we are no longer our own. Now, some people don't like that. Our rebellious heart goes, Murr, you know what I mean? Like, I want to call the shots. Well, this is a kingdom, not a democracy. Okay? This is a kingdom. Now, this is not harsh. I'm laying groundwork here because I want you to understand something. If we were bought at a price, then here's the whole point of today's message. Ready? In some ways, then our time is no longer our own. Our time is no longer our own. You see, if you want to go your own way, if you want to worship Baal, Ashtoreth, money, Instagram fame, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, what do you want to do here? If you want to worship those things, then by all means, you get 24 hours in the hand, and you can spend them the way you want to. Absolutely. But if you're a follower of Jesus Christ, and you are literally trying to follow him and do these things I've been talking about, then I've got news for you. Your time is no longer your own. You have 24 hours in your hand. And now I want to move from this and go like this. Our time is not our own. We are now to spend that time how he wants us to spend it. See, I want you to think of time a little differently. A lot of us think before we put our hands on the wheel of our lives and then turn that wheel over to Christ. That's that process, by the way. We just think time is happening. Oh, it's so and so, it's a Sunday, blah, blah, blah. But time is actually a series, as humans. I'm not going to get scientific. I won't. I'll stay out of quantum realm here, I promise. Petey and I were talking, and time really for us is measured by change. Time for us is, but measured by change. But you know what your day is really? I want you to think like if Amy's working at the bank or, something like this, guys. If you're retired, your day is essentially a series of interactions, is it not? Isn't that kind of what time is? A series of moments, interactions, or experiences? Yeah. So you start thinking of it a little differently. I believe if this is a message truly from God, and I hope it is, and I believe it is, then I believe that we could be transformed by the renewing of our mind and we can think about this differently. Now, boom, into the actual coaching here, which is this. You have 24 hours per day in your hand. And you can start thinking of time as a group of experiences, things like this, but you can also think of it as currency. You get time. And anybody who's been in a hospital bed will understand this. Time becomes the most valuable currency we have. And yet here we are, kind of just floating through life at times. We're not really spending it like currency. We're not showing it the value it deserves. Now, there's a bunch of other scriptures I could give you. I could give you Ecclesiastes. I could give you James. You know not what your life will tomorrow. What is your life? It is a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. I could go on and on and on, and I could talk about how God sees things in time, sees time in seasons and things like this. Okay, but the coaching for today, and it is kind of a coaching sort of message today, is this: if you start to see time, number one, as submitted to God, God, what would you have me to do today? What you'll notice is that's number one. What you'll notice is that God will start to teach you things, well, kind of balancing and budgeting your time. And here's what I mean. He will teach you that there are good and right and wonderful things to spend your time on. He will also teach you that there are good and right, wonderful things to invest your time on. Now, this could be big. Let me camp here for a second. I think of Pete. I'm going to rat on Pete for a second. I think of Petey. Petey's finishing up his master's degree. If you think he wants to be inside writing a paper while it's sunny out and as we're moving into summer, you're crazy. And the challenge of that is, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. This isn't where I want to be right now. I'm not where I want to be. I'm projecting onto Petey, but any of us, I'm doing this job. It's not where I want to be, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. I believe God, the God of wisdom, who tells us to seek wisdom above all things, would tell you this. You're spending this time, you're not spreading it necessarily, you're investing it. You're investing your time for a later return. Now, it's easy to see with a degree, but can it be easy to see with your job too? That what I'm doing right now is I'm going to this job, I'm accruing, I'm getting stuff, I'm providing for my family, I'm hopefully budgeting and being wise with my money to grow my resources to later be able to do blank, blank, blank. It's an investment. And if you look at it like that, if you look at it like an investment, then you will not begrudge the investment. Boom. There's our first one for today. That's me knowing it's hitting some of you guys because it hit me too. If I look at something that I'm doing, it's drudgery, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. Some of you are in jobs, especially online. Some of you are in jobs you don't love. It's not your career. Are you in a season of investment? I'm making that money, I'm doing this thing because I'm looking towards something else. Now, that's a godly, wise way of looking at things. I think of maybe the Cuthberts when they're, working on their camp or something like that. You visualize what you're doing, and instead of begrudging the work because your time is being spent, as it were, or you know what I mean, it's being lessened. You spend a whole day doing blah blah. But if you really look at it and go, Lord, this is what we're doing. Clearly I've gone to you for guidance. This is what we're doing. I can invest myself and I can invest my time for a later return. Now we see that all the time in the Bible. How many scriptures say, well done, good and faithful servant, you're faithful over a little, you'll be in charge of much? Don't we see that God is an investing God? God is invested in everybody right now that hears my voice. He's invested in you. He's put time, he's put talent, he's put treasures inside of you, right? That's another thing, investing in people. I love my job because a lot of my job is investing in you guys. Is to say, this isn't about me. It's necessarily, it's coaching, it's helping, it's whatever it is to invest in other folks. And investing in other people is never a bad idea. I got to tell you. And if you actually go to God and say, my time is not my own, he's gonna tell you some people to invest in. He really is. So number one, your time is not your own anymore. And I try to stress this as much as possible with everybody. Other people are not going to tell you what's right, true, and best for your daily stuff. You're not going to get it out of a Bible study. You're not going to get it out of me. You're going to get it from a one-to-one relationship with Jesus. Go to him. When you wake up, you say, Lord, what would you have me to do today? Today's the day the Lord has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. Lord, what would you have me to do? You get it? Okay, let me move on. I got bigger points too. I don't want to keep you too long. It's hard. I can't gauge stuff when I'm home, but okay, you ready? Second half. I'd say we're up by 7 at this point. Ball's on the 20-yard line. Petey said something. I'm going to narc on him. He said something that's going to hit every single one of us. Ready? When you're thinking about time and the things you choose to do, spending or investing, there's also a third category, which is wasting. Okay, he goes, when we're talking about how to choose to spend time, he goes, okay, I busted him and I'm telling on him. You ever been the person who, this is what Pete says, I know I'm going to have fun when I get there. And I know it's going to be the best thing for me that day. And it's what I should be doing. But it's just so hard to make myself go. Oh, come on. You hear that, dude? I know that put a bunch of you right to the wall. I know it. And I get it. Now, number one, there's a lot we could talk about in this, but that is some of y'all. I like going out and hanging out with people, or I like going out for a walk. I'll tell you mine, and this is stupid, so stupid. I like fishing when I'm out there, but man, I'll tell you what, the last few years, I don't load up the boat and go. Oh, it's such a pain in the butt to load the boat. Or blah blah blah. Now here's the thing, ready? I have to know that this. We'll go back to the other stuff because y'all got hit with the social aspect of it all. I know you did. No, I'm just saying for me, I know now if I'm spending money or investing money or spending time, investing time or wasting time. Now I realize that I must be purposeful. It's what's best for me too, man. God is going to command us to rest. Do you know that? God is going to command us to recreate. It's the truth. And some of us aren't very good at it. Some of us feel, I'll talk about this in a second, but we feel weird when we're just kind of taking time for us or chilling. But the reality is, I personally think it's a good idea for me to do these things. Now let me go back to where y'all live. Some of y'all, I want to go do that thing with my friends. I want to go do blah blah blah. I want to, but it's just so hard to make myself go. Yeah. Okay. This is. You want to go 301? You gonna want to get into some spiritual surgery here? If you find yourself in a pattern where there's something benefits you, God's calling you to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's true, right, and best, but it's just so hard to make yourself go. Can I tell you something that I'm suspicious about? I believe in there will be a lie that you're believing. Man, you'd be shocked in 15 years how many times it comes down to that. There's a lie we're believing. Now, some of it might be wrapped around anxiety and depression. Those are real things. We've talked about this. Some of them are biochemical, some of them are, you know what I'm saying? All this sort of stuff. I get that. But can you honestly tell me that when you hesitate to go do those things, you're not believing that um, the voice of fear, let's say, I might not have a good time. People might not like me. I might get hurt. Or you're maybe believing the lie that it won't be worth it, but you already know it will be. I'm telling you right now, if there's something you want to do, but you struggle to do it, quoting the Apostle Paul here, I got to tell you that in there is a lie you're believing. And this is going to be up to you in a very personal way. Lord, why can't I get myself out to do these things? Why is it such a struggle for me to go do those things? And I tell you, some of you, it's social anxiety. I get it. I'll hit it right on the head because I love you very much. You believe that people are going to have the power to make you miserable. You believe that people can make you have a bad time. I'm going to have an anxiety attack. It's going to overcome me, and it's just not true. And if you don't believe me, think about the last time. Did it happen? No, it didn't, did it? Fear tries to take up as much space as it possibly can. That's what I always say. And so let me tell you something. If there's something you want to do, but you struggle to go do it routinely, there's a lie in there you're believing. And what I start the message off saying, stuttering and whatever, just to make sure you got it, was the Bible, the word of our Father, the one who adopted us and pulled us out of slavery and darkness. He's the one who gets to say these things. We do not get to listen to the voice of fear anymore. And again, I know this is process, but can I tell you where the process starts? Identifying the lie. Man, I love watching everybody get free. I love watching you guys and myself as well. When we're sitting there and we identify a lie, I know what comes next. Because now that you see the lie, you can grab it. You go, boom, there we go. Remember I told you a while back, side note, we'll get off time for a second. Remember I told you a while back, a friend of mine, she she was being invited out with her friends and stuff like this and go have social life. It's not good that man would be alone. It's not good that woman's alone, right? It's not. Some of us think seclusion's great and we're living in a place of seclusion because we're believing lies. But let me give you a piece of coaching. We got to be doing okay on time. And don't forget, I can't see if you get up and leave. Other people can't stay seated. I'm kidding. Just joking. So I was talking about this friend of mine, okay? I will call her Sally because I don't know any Sallys for real. And Sally, this was the real thing though. She would get calls to go do something she enjoyed doing. Do you all like hiking? How often do you hike? You like walks in the woods, but you don't take walks in the woods. You like doing these things, but you don't do them. But anyway, it's about Sally. It's about you. So she was getting calls from friends, right? And the person would say, "Hey, girl, hey," or however girls talk to each other, "Hey," and they would say, "Hey, do you want to come do this thing with me and these other people you clearly like?" And she said, in that moment, she would feel like, "Yes, I want to," but she'd also feel, "No, no, 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 I don't want to do those things." And she's like, I don't want to do it." And I said, "Hold on, let me help you out here. That's not your voice. That's your anxiety talking. That's not you." And she's like, "See, we will confuse that with our own voice. It's not. It's just your anxiety." And again, that's why I'm not telling you get rid of anxiety. I know it'll be a process. I understand this. My depression, my whatever it may be. I get that they're processes, but do you understand something? You're also listening to its voice and you're believing that it's you. It's not you. So ready, this is what she did. And like that, it helped. Next time it happened, hey girl, hey, or however girls talk to each other. And she's like, do you want to come out with friends and other people you clearly like? And she's like, no. And she's like, wait, that's not me. That's the anxiety part of me. I do want to go. She's like, yeah, I'll be there. And every time that voice tried to come up at her, what if people, that's not me. All these years I've been believing that's me and how I feel. It ain't how I feel. That's this other part of me. That's this dark, you know what I mean? This other that's there, but it's not me. It's not who I am. Does that make sense? Don't take on the identity of those things. I've told you before. Never take on the identity of a victim as a Christ follower. You can't do it because we are more than conquerors in Christ. And that's some Joel Osteen sort of preaching right there. But I'm telling you the truth that I can't say I'll always just have this. No, you can't say that. It's a fool's mistake, I often say, because Jesus is continuing to conform us and we are victorious. It's the way it goes. And I know sometimes you're not where you want to be or you're feeling like you're on the path. Well, guess what? What did we talk about before? Investment, man. A lot of this stuff wraps so tightly around us that I believe God is very carefully pruning these things. You ever had vines around your fruit trees? I get them down near my blueberries. Let me tell you what, if I go whacking away with some power tool, I'm going to take down the blueberry tree. I don't want, or bush. Well, I don't want that. So I have to meticulously, go around this thing and process. But that's good, guys. Keep that. Now, the last thing I'll say, we'll get ready, is this. Fourth quarter, y'all. I'm going to tell you a lie I believed. So it was Friday. It was Friday, and of course I've got the kids, and we're on our schedule. Schedules with kids, as anybody knows, I mean they're your structure and your backbone, right? However, it was about noon. Petey and I were talking, and it was nice out, and I had blown the belt on my Cub Cadet lawn tractor. I like calling it a lawn tractor. So I don't have a proper tractor, Kirk. But anyway, so I'd blown the belt and I knew I had a bunch of stuff to do, but normally we do this, this, and this. And I had this voice inside of me. Stay with me, guys. This is important, okay? Some of you are really, really need this part, I promise. I fed the kids, cleaned up a little bit, did the thing, right? The next thing I was going to do is I felt this need inside of me to go relax. And this need to go relax. And yet it was a beautiful day out. And much like the previous point I made, I know that if I get out, the kids are playing outside, and we go do stuff, I know that if I stay in motion, that's a better day for AJ. I know that. But I had this weird pull, like, no, just take some time. Just go. Just go relax and unwind. And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, when it comes to spending time, investing time, and wasting time, it's very important for us to ask this. To you, honestly, what is quality time? What is good time spent? What is time well spent? We all know workaholics who think that recreation is bad time spent, poor time spent. That's not true, is it? We understand recreating and resting is important to human beings, correct? So some people believe lies is what I'm trying to say. Now, no, ready. This is deep for me. I One of the things I was believing, and again, this wraps around me quite a bit, but I'm believing that the only quality time for AJ is times where I'm being completely like selfish and cut off. Like if the kids are playing, and let's say now they're at the age now where they don't need me on top of them all the time. You know what I'm saying? They play with each other. But if I'm like, oh, I'm on the bed and I'm looking on my phone or watching old Packers games or whatever guys do, and I was like, that's quality time. But can I tell you something? No, it's not. Here's what I mean. Ready? I somehow believe the lie that selfish time is quality time for me. And do you want to know why? Because I feel like, growing up, I almost broke my knuckle yesterday, on a piece of wood with an axe. I feel like growing up, I always felt like I had to be busy and had to be doing something. Like if a parent walked by, I'd stand up, like I'm cleaning my room. Because you can't just be laying around as a kid. You know what I'm saying? You always had to be doing something or accomplishing something. That's how I felt a lot of times growing up. And so now I've believed this lie that the only good time, the only AJ time, is the time when I'm doing the thing that I couldn't do when I was a kid. Does that make sense? Like I'm just laying here. I've got no responsibilities. I'm not obligated to anybody, right? That kind of thing. And I realize that comes from that's a lie. That may have been recreation time. That may have been good time well spent when I was 12, but that's no longer beneficial time to me. I'm different now. It's better for me to get up and get in motion. Think about the Burrows. When they first were talking about we're going to walk like all the time, think about that. That had to take a paradigm shift because lots of us would think walking places instead of relaxing in a vehicle, that can't be time well spent. And yet they had to shift their thinking and go, well, I assume they prayed about this and it's something that God would. I mean, God, there's certain principles that the good you ought to do type of thing. And being healthy and taking care of your body is something that God is gonna stamp that every time. But anyway, so the Burrows at that point, if they had any thinking where that wasn't time well spent, then they had to probably take a look at that and go, I've thought to myself that physical activity is time wasted or bad time, or even just time only invested. But the reality is it's good for them. It's quality time. And that required a mental shift, didn't it? And of course, there are a lot of benefits that come with it. And again, that's a lot of investment towards your future health, is what you do right now, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You want to have healthy 40s? Get healthy in your 30s to carry into the 40s, 40s into 50s, 50s into 60s, that's the way this goes. But isn't that funny? Petey was saying the same thing. Petey's thing was, I'm telling on him. I'm sorry, bud, if you watch this. Petey's thing, one of the things that he found was, not being obligated, not saying he'll be somewhere. I don't want to have anything on my schedule, was what he thought was quality, enjoyable time. But it's not what he truly wants, he was saying. I've just been conditioned that that's my time. And the truth is no. So you know what I did? I did what I think is the right thing. I went outside. I got the Cub Cadet running again. I hung a tire swing. Alex and I were throwing a football through it. Izzy was the announcer. Hours passed, and it was a wonderful day. I got the stuff done, which is nice because you have obligations. But I also, because I stayed in motion, which was good for me, I was able to also, have a lot of good memories and make a better day. And what's funny is I didn't sit down and relax, and I didn't need to. Some of you do need to sit down and relax. Don't project. I'm saying examine the way we think about what we spend our time on, how we're investing our time, and what is actually a waste of time. The last thing I'll say is this. Most likely social media is a waste of time. Easy, I don't like you saying it. Oh, no. You don't mind me saying it. But your endorphins and your neurological pathways, which have been warped by the social media, that give me more and more and more, doesn't like me saying it. Have you ever regretted putting your social media down and going and doing something? Oh, wait. You want to know how I recognize this? We're almost done, guys. Although I'll tell you what, I usually preach a lot longer than this. I had to get back on Facebook because of a rental property. And so it was, you know what I think it was? I think it was Friday, even that same day, where I was getting on and I was, manipulating the post so we could get some business or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And, but I found the wall, like click, and all of a sudden other people's posts were there. Well, what did I do, right? Like a good little brainwashed soldier. Wait, this is the way you do it. Your kids love seeing that, by the way. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We're all in the same spot here. Dude, a good 5 minutes passed in a blink of an eye. And immediately, of course, I'm envious because everybody's putting up their crap and their vacations and their best, most polished self. And I immediately was like, whoa. I've been off social media for like 3 years. And I'm like, ugh, that was gross. Like I identified when the leech got back on me. And I was like, I like life a lot better without it. Can I just tell you that things are warring against your godly usage of time. It's true. So I'm going to end. I think if I kept talking, it would be me. I don't want to do that. Um, our time is not our own, guys. Spend, invest, or waste the time guided by the Lord. You know, we're His people. And I would absolutely look at the whole if there's things that you want to do and yet you struggle to go do them, examine those. I love you guys. You're going to have another worship tune come up. Um, yeah, thank you for everything. Thank you for your prayers. Have a great week, truly. Okay, love you guys. See you soon. Bye bye.